Okay, I have this vase that I'd already started but had not done the rim or the foot. It is pretty dry. Once I take it out of the plastic, I realize, wow, this is getting really dry. I need to work with it. One thing I can do is clean up the sides a little bit. There's some crumbs on there. I can just scrape it with this metal scraper, or I can wait and do this after I put on the rim and the foot. So I think I'll do that. I have rolled out some slabs for the rim and the foot. Let's go to the foot first. I set the pot on there and marked where it went. I just want a foot that is just barely bigger than the pot. You know, just to give the bottle, actually this is going to be a bottle, just to give it a little bit of weight. Okay, so I'm just trimming this off freehand, and I'm going to, the reason those lines are there is that my knife was not clean, had clay on it. But I'm gonna make those, see how soft this clay is? I want that softness because I'll need it up here at the rim. But that's what I was thinking of for the base or the foot. So I could just go ahead and put that on there. I think I'll wait and do it after the rim. So I've got my size, I've got everything I need here except scratch and slip. So I'm going to set that aside. The top, as I said, is very dry, as is the rest of it. It's not even, so I trim it off with my knife. You can see how it's not like slicing through butter anymore. It's like slicing through, I don't know what is about that thickness, but it does take some pressure. Okay, so I want to wet that clay up again. I can dip it in water. That will help, or paint it with slip. But I want to do something to get that wet again. We're going to wrap a piece of clay around the top, which I just did a paper mock-up here to see if I wanted it, how thick I wanted it and how long I wanted it. So you can see this paper doesn't quite reach around. I'm going to have a piece of clay that's longer than that. Okay, and I do think that that's kind of fat for the part. So I'm going to cut that in half. And I see that this is not very straight. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about the scratching. I'm just going to put some slip on there to get it wet, more soft. Because I'm going to put soft clay on there. The reason it has to be soft, because it's going to wrap around these corners. If it were hard, it would crack. So the clay that I'm going to put on here is going to be very soft. So I'm going to set that aside. Here's what I cut out. So I know that I don't want it that thick. I want it about half of that. So I'm going to mark that, use my ruler. I know I need a little over 5 inches. So I'm going to cut about 6 just to be, okay. Now I'll check it again, see if I like the look of that around my, yeah, that's okay. I might want it a little bit thinner. I can cut it again, I can round it, whatever I want to do, but this, I think this will be just fine. So I've got this that's going to, it's very soft. I want it to wrap around the neck of this, what is a vase, and we're going to make it into a bottle. So I could have let this sit longer, be even better, but I wanted to go ahead with the video. So I'm going to go ahead and scratch this, and it should be the width of that band that I'm scratching, both directions. And I think I'm going to put a little slip on the inside of this because I do want it softened up to mush together into more of a circle shape. So I already have slip in here. Just make sure that I can get that softened up. Put a little bit more slip. And I'll go ahead and put slip where I've already scratched. This seems just a little bit wide to me. I'm going to cut it one more time. So I've got this nice straight edge here with my ruler. Go down there one more time. Make this a little rounded, but just by dragging my thumb over it, I'm happier with that. And go ahead and scratch and slip this piece. I don't know how it's going to fit exactly, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and bevel one end of it and wait to bevel the other end until I know how long it should be. So here's my bevel tool. I want a nice clean end. And drag that tool towards me. Now I've got a beveled end over here that I can go ahead and scratch. I don't think I'll slip it at this point, but I will scratch it. And I will go ahead and slip this part that's going to touch the rim of the vase. Okay. Scratching and slipping is very important at this point in joining these two pieces, simply because this is so dry and this is so wet. So I'm going to put this on just on one side and make sure I have it even with the top. That's how I want my top to be. I'm going to ease it around the corners. So even though this is a very wet piece of clay I'm putting on, I still have to ease it around those corners. And lo and behold, I didn't make it long enough. Okay. I'm going to have to take, oh my God.